One thing that's going to be very different is the quarterbacks that Oklahoma has to face in the 2025 season. Not as much experience as what they had to face in 2024. We're going to rank them coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks again for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, let's start with the back half of these rankings because I think that just makes it more fun. Keeps people in suspense a little bit. But we're ranking Oklahoma's SEC quarterback competition for 2025. So there's 8 quarterbacks in the SEC that Oklahoma will face this year. We're not going to talk about Bryce Underwood on this show. We're not going to talk about, the Temple quarterback or Kent State's quarterback, which, listen, Oklahoma should do just fine against those guys. Let's start with number 5 through 8. Here it is. At number 5, we got Jackson Arnold. Number 6, Austin Simmons. Number 7, Joey Aguilar. And number 8, Bo Pribula.
Yeah, I wrestled with those last 4 the most, probably in my rankings. The top one, those top 4 are very easy. It was really where should Jackson Arnold be in comparison to Austin Simmons, which we saw a little bit of him, and he was pretty solid when he played in the games that he got to play. We haven't really seen much of Bo Pribula, so I definitely have him in the back. And Joey Aguilar did really good at Appalachian State, and because of that, I feel like even though he did come in the summer, late spring, early summer for Tennessee, it'd be interesting how they integrate him in the offense. I don't expect a big first year, but I do expect him to be similar to like a Hendon Hooker coming in his first year and doing just enough to help. The question is, Tennessee's defense is supposed to be better, but they don't have Dylan Simpson back there to carry the load. So we'll see if the run game is established the way that Hypo likes to do. Then at that point, I probably can give them a little bit more props. But like I said, that's where I wrestled the most is between Simmons, Arnold, when we were talking about it.
Yeah, I think at 7 and 8, for me, I have a greater level of trust with Josh Heupel as an offensive mind than I have with Mizzou. And so Joey Aguilar is going to get a little bit of a benefit of a doubt, especially considering he does have some collegiate production to his name. I think Bo Pribula, sorry, not Drew. That's Drew Lock. Bo Pribula, I think he's going to be a good quarterback. It's just prove it. Show us. I think that's where I'm at with that. But the Jackson Arnold, everybody knows, still a big Jackson Arnold guy. I think he's got all the tools and all the talent. To me, can he rebound from what 2024 was, which was littered with a lot of fumbles, a lot of indecision? If Hugh Freeze can get him processing faster, making decisions and being firm in his decisions, I think he has a chance to be really, really good this year with that group of wide receivers that they have at Auburn. And listen, everybody's bully on Austin Simmons, our guy Stephen Willis over at Locked On Ole Miss. I mean, he thinks he's got a chance to be a future number 1 overall pick. Like, that's how bullish he is on Simmons. And so Lane Kiffin's a really good quarterback developer as well. And maybe we should give him a little bit more credit and have him a little bit higher than what Hugh Freeze could do with Jackson Arnold. But again, show us. If you go out there and you prove it, by all means, man, you might fly up these rankings as the season goes along. We will update these as we go because things will change and we'll get more information. We'll get more data. So let's look at number 1 through 4, Jay, because this, I think, will have maybe some controversy in it. We got Garrett Nussmeier at number 1, Lenora Sellers number 2, Arch Manning at 3, and Ty Simpson at 4. Now, remember, this is SEC opposing quarterback rankings. We're not including John Mateer here.
Yeah, we're not including Mateer. We're not including Diego Pavia or any of the quarterbacks that Oklahoma won't see, Gunnar Stockton, etc. And the only struggle I had really was the Ty Simpson one, was to even put him in the top 4 because we haven't seen much of him as well. He'll be another new quarterback that Oklahoma's facing. And honestly, this Oklahoma defense is getting a pretty beneficial pool when it comes to that. I mean, the top three are really the only true experienced quarterbacks they're going to have to see that's been at their programs, and played a lot. The jury's out for me with Lenora Sellers as a passer. I've seen some really good stuff from him, but he's very much a threat because he moves around and does a really good job of moving his pocket to be able to complete passes across the middle or down the field. I need to see more of it. Got to go watch some more film on him and see if I think he should be higher up. But it's definitely Garrett Nussmeier's number one. I mean, after he took that hit, got hurt against Oklahoma, took a couple, shots and got right back in the game and took more shots on the field and was playing out his mind. Yeah, he's definitely number one on the list. He showed up and showed out in that game. Even after he got that strip sack and we returned it for the touchdown, he's a little shaken up, brought another quarterback. The next thing you know, when Nussmeier got back in the game, completely different team. He was finding his wide receivers everywhere. So because he's also put up the most numbers of anybody, I'm still going to stick with him. There's no reason for me to believe that anybody else on the list is better than him until they prove it. You got to prove that to me.
Yeah, Garrett Nussmeier was awesome after getting hit. It's like it just jolted him. He's like, all right, let's go play ball. And he just let it all hang out and just unleashed fury on Oklahoma's secondary. And it was really painful to watch. Also very impressive to watch him bounce back like that. To me, yeah, he's number one. If you're making any quarterback rankings for the SEC, anything that doesn't have him number one to me is mind boggling. I don't understand it because there's a lot of inexperience. There's a lot of, just lack of production elsewhere. And you can talk DJ Lagway, you can talk Lenora Sellers. They're good quarterbacks. You can talk Arch Manning, potentially a good quarterback. They don't have the production that Garrett Nussmeier has. And to me, be one of the front runners in the SEC for quarterback of the year. Number two, Lenora Sellers. When we saw what he was capable of in a role where he didn't have to do a whole lot against Oklahoma, he managed the game very well. And all he had to do was kind of coast to a win in that one. But I think he's got the ability to be a big-time player for him. He was in some tighter ball games against LSU, and he played well. It's just some of those games didn't go their way based on officiating, but I think he's got a lot to him. He's a South Carolina boy, so he takes it seriously. And he was one of those guys that was a 3-star prospect coming out of high school, and we see what that is doing, what the projection is doing. We're seeing him continue to develop. That kind of matters. Arch Manning, listen, I get everybody's just kind of tired of the Arch Manning hype at this point. Get used to it. It's going to keep coming. He's a good quarterback. Is going to be a future number one overall pick. We'll see. Is he going to be somebody that's in Heisman contention this year? I don't know, but I think he's going to be good. That first game against Ohio State is going to tell us where's he at in his development. It could be a complete and abject disaster, or
really good.
He could be really, really good. It's going to be a big time environment that he's going to have to play in the shoe. And then with the Ty Simpson thing, to me, that's like Garrett Nussmeier light, right? A guy that stuck around his program for years. Remember, he was part of that 2022 recruiting class. That's forever ago. But he stuck it out. He's been there in the program, and now he's getting developed by Kalen DeBoer, a really, really good quarterback developer. And now's the time for Ty Simpson to go and perform. When Oklahoma faces him, will be at the end of the season. So he will have that entire year of development, the entire year of snaps. Now he's got some good quarterbacks behind him that could push him for the job if he doesn't perform. But the tools are there. He was a former 5-star prospect for a reason. So the tools are there. Now it's just a matter of putting it out all on the field.
Yeah. The most critical thing with Arch Manning is he's going to have to show it against the top SEC talent. The last time we saw Arch play against one of the best defenses in the SEC, he got yanked out of the game. He didn't last very long.
Right.
And, it happens when you're just kind of thrusted in there. And, again, I understand the Arch Manning hype outside of even just his name, that he can play. I've seen his ability to move. He is Archie 100%, because Archie was a mobile quarterback. That dude used to run around. Technically the Saints made him run around because he didn't have a choice. His team was that good around him, but at the same time, Archie was really mobile and moving, and that is exactly what you're going to get out of Arch. The thing that I think fans have to take in consideration, though, is for Oklahoma fans, like you said, you got to understand the hype's going to be there. There's not much you can do about that. He's not only his name, but his play in high school. He's going to get the hypes. For Texas fans, he didn't beat out Quinn Ewers, and all y'all did was complain about Quinn Ewers. So to me, it's if he's going to dominate like everyone believes, we probably would have saw glimmers of that last year. Mississippi State game, he was good. Cool. It was Mississippi State first year, Jeff Lebby. It was the Louisiana Monroe. That's like me saying, John Mateer dominated against
Temple.
Yeah, name the team in the G5 that he played. Actually, even played against. Naming the teams he played against. He dominated in that game too. But we saw Mateer against Washington, who did really good in the Big Ten, in which the Big Ten has basically owned much of college football over the last couple of years. So is a Washington team that, even though they had some changes, still had a good year in the Big Ten in their first year. So with their new head coaching staff. So to me, I can give Mateer just about as much props as I could give an Arch Manning, even though I've got production from John Mateer that I don't have at Arch Manning yet.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to drive a lot of this discussion. If Arch Manning comes out and he has a good start to the season against Ohio State, I mean, he doesn't have to throw for three bills and 3 touchdowns for it to be a good game. I mean, if he has 200-something plus yards and he rushes for 50 and throws a couple touchdowns, and Texas either wins and beats Ohio State or they're competitive in that game, I don't think it's going to slow down the Arch hype train. But if he comes out and he completes less than 50% of his passes and has a couple picks and doesn't, show that mobility against what's going to be a really good Ohio State defense, or he looks indecisive, that's going to be kind of telling. But, that's a big matchup to start the season. It's getting the ESPN College Game Day treatment as Lee Corso's last game, which is going to be kind of emotional for a lot of people who have been watching College Game Day for 30 years. And then that very next week, Oklahoma could end up being a host for College Game Day as they get Michigan in prime time. So, But anyway, that this is going to be a hype season because everybody's been waiting on Texas to be really, really good. Everybody's been waiting on Arch and his debut season as a starter. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So let us know, who do we have too high? Who do we have too low in our opponent SEC quarterback rankings? Let us know in the YouTube chat. You can also follow us at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms and let us know over there. Get angry, get mad. It's fine. We can take it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But it's that time of year where we can have debate, and we're going to embrace debate here on this show. But follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, over on YouTube. You can follow me at John 9 Williams. You can read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all your favorite social media platforms. And what else? Hey, go leave us a 5-star review over on Apple. If you I've not called for that in a long time, but if you're an everydayer with us and you enjoy the show, go leave us a 5-star review on Apple. Make sure other people can find the show wherever they get their podcasts. But until next time, he's Jay Smith, who I think is frozen because he's got hotel Wi-Fi. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you next time. Boomer Sooner.